Welcome back to CryptosRus. I am George. We're all George. So tonight, let's talk about who sold $250 million worth of Bitcoin. This may be the reason why Bitcoin has not gone up recently. 250,000, and guess what? This entity is going to be selling more. So should we be afraid? Let's talk about that, and let's talk about the big news of today, FedNow, and how that program or how that system relates to XRP and XLM. So let's talk about these things and more. Welcome, guys. Hopefully you guys are doing okay. The overall market is still hanging in there, still kind of boring, although we took a little dip today from yesterday. But overall, we're still holding most of the gains from the previous week, so that's fantastic. In terms of the U.S. market today, NASDAQ took an absolute beating, down 2%. So the likes of Coinbase, ouch, down 8% today, but, it's been rallying so hard recently, right? And then Tesla down almost 10%. What a golden buying opportunity. I stocked up on both of these today. I mean, today is just one of those silly days where people sold off tech for no good reason. There was actually no reason at all. But you know what? These days, just like when we have down days for crypto, are days to DCA. Really, that's the best days to do it. But in addition, of course, today we had FedNow. Okay, FedNow being released. So what is this all about? And I kind of explained this morning, but the Fed, okay, which is, Federal Reserve, Chair Powell, basically downplays that, hey, this is a precursor to CBDCs, which is a digital dollar, right? Janet Yellen is actually yelling for the Fed to create a CBDC, but Powell is like, I don't know if we really need one yet. Or is that just a ploy because he knows people don't want a CBDC, a digital dollar, where they can track all movements of money everywhere at all time, and it's just not a good thing, right? So he's kind of downplaying that, I believe, right? But FedNow is released, and basically it's a settlement layer. It's a way for banks, and right now it's only like 50 banks, and it will open up to 10,000 banks soon, but it's a way for banks to settle payments basically instantaneously with the Federal Reserve. Okay, so that's the big thing today. But here's the thing. People are making this association that, you know what, FedNow is powered by a ledger that's very, very, very similar to Ripple's ledger. So does Ripple have anything to do with it? Did Ripple help the Fed create their ledger system for FedNow? But also what's interesting is there is someone else called Volante, okay? I'm guessing that's how you say it, Volante, right? Basically, they're involved with FedNow, okay? And they're also involved with Ripple. So now people are making an association that FedNow has something to do with Ripple, right? Are they playing both sides? Volante, whoever they are, right? Or is Ripple really helping Fed to power the FedNow network? So maybe later on, there's going to be some kind of tie, with XRP. I don't know. There's a lot of rumors swirling around right now between the two, right? So I don't actually know what to think about it. But right now, I do know that FedNow is still early, does not compete with the likes of XRP or even Steller XLM, right? Which is why both have soared for the last week, right? Even though FedNow is now, both of these did not go down, okay? They've been rallying, mostly because XRP's grand win against the SEC, right? That obviously had a lot to do with it. But you know what? Right now, both of these are still operating worldwide and not controlled by the Federal Reserve, right? So that's really important. You don't want to be controlled by the Federal Reserve. I'll skip that. We don't need to talk about that. But you know what? Stellar, I've always said this. I like Stellar, but I don't know what the hell they're doing, okay? Stellar kind of like following in XRP's footstep. They want to be a bridge currency to be used for transactions between nations, but they also want to be a layer one for dApps. And they also want to be in stablecoins. They were actually helping Ukraine come out with their own stablecoin, and they want to be in CBDC. So they're kind of all over the place. But I did see this. You have Latin America crypto firm Bitso that's joining the Stellar network to boost international USDC payments. So this is not really the same thing, not using XLM as a bridge currency, but utilizing Stellar, which has native USDC stablecoin on there, and utilizing that to be able to make transactions across several countries, including Argentina, Colombia, and Mexico. So that's pretty good. And also, for those of you guys that are tired of paying so much fees by moving USDC around on Ethereum, you could also do so on Stellar's network, which is almost feeless. So that's also a benefit. FY, in case you guys didn't know that, but you could do that as well. Okay, so that's good. That's good for Stellar. But overall, if you look at Stellar, the number of dApps on top, right? It's small, but you have a few, right? A lot of exchanges are hooked up, obviously like Coinbase and Binance and Crypto.com and Huobi and all that stuff, right? But you have a few, like, for example, Alchemy Pay, which is a fiat on-ramp, off-ramp system, right? I just talked about Bitso, which is going to be using Stellar to move USDC payments around, but there's a few others. MoneyGram used to have a partnership with XRP, with Ripple, until the lawsuit, and then MoneyGram kind of disassociated themselves away from Ripple, and then formed a partnership with Stellar. So, yeah, they're also a partner as well, right? So, and Stably is also a stablecoin maker. So, yeah, I mean, there's a small number of dApps on there, right, for Stellar. Hopefully it continues to grow because, again, they want to, I don't know what they want to do. Hopefully they can figure it out. I guess they could do all of the things I mentioned before, right? But it would be nice if they concentrate on one thing. But, you know, then again, XRP is also trying to do the same thing and going to the L1 route, right? They recently funded and made a huge funding or gave a huge funding to what's that, Futureverse or something like that, some projects that's going to bring standardization and metaverses and dApps and everything onto the XRP ledger. So that's also in the works. So but yeah, in addition, the rich list for XRP continues to go higher and higher and higher. So I don't know how many of you guys are XRP Army, but you could see, are you in the upper 1%? Do you own at least 70,000 XRP? You'll be in the upper 1%. But if you own more than 6.2 million XRP, then you'll be in the 0.01%, right? But if you hold at least 3,522 XRP, you'll be 10%, top 10%. But this list is growing, especially now. A lot more people falling into XRP, right? So it's going to keep going up. All right. Now, besides FedNow, Stellar, and XRP, what else happened today? Well, it's been uncovered. Someone sold $250 million worth of Bitcoin. Who? Well, it turns out to be the U.S. government. U.S. government, this was already suspected because they moved roughly about 10,000 Bitcoins recently from this wallet that they confiscated from the Silk Road people, right? So there's a lot. There's 195,000 Bitcoin that they still hold that they want to auction off. But it's been confirmed that 8,200 out of the 10,000 they moved has been sold. And if you do the math, that's around $250 million. That's a lot of Bitcoin. And I don't know how they sold it. Did they just dump it on Coinbase? Or did they do it through OTC? Unknown, right? But we know that after Bitcoin hit that 31.6 mark, it fell down suddenly, right? as if someone dumped, and the U.S. government may have been the ones behind it or started it or contributed to it. Who knows, right? 250 million is a lot, especially if you do it on a spot market. And they have a lot more to go, and we don't know when they will be selling. But why now? I guess maybe the U.S. government is desperate for money, but they could easily wait another year, wait for Bitcoin to be much higher, double or triple. They could collect a lot more money than trying to dump it now. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it happened. It happened. But regardless, you know what? So many people believe in Bitcoin. Mike Novogratz says, I'm a lot more comfortable being long Bitcoin today. Right? He used to be so bullish. You can make an argument back in 2017, he was even more bullish than me. He was super bullish, right? And then he got humbled a little bit after 2018, 2019, and 2020 because he made some outrageous calls in 2017. These days, he's kind of on the fence. Like sometimes he's bullish, sometimes he's not. But he's really bullish, obviously, because he's the CEO of Galaxy Digital. They hold hundreds of millions of Bitcoin, and they run a big Bitcoin mining farm, and they're investing in a whole bunch of projects, right? So obviously, he's really bullish. But these days, when he does interviews, he kind of like, he just plays like he's not. But there are so many that are bullish, so many billionaires that are turning to Bitcoin because they don't trust the government, they don't trust the banks, and they see Bitcoin as a true asset that can hedge against inflation and is a store of value. Important things to any asset. But in addition, the reserves are dropping. This is the first cycle where we actually see reserves on exchanges dropping. Has never happened before. So again, supply is decreasing at an alarming rate. And we know demand has not really been climbing. Okay, so right now we're kind of hovering, right? But wait until we get to the halving event. And afterwards, when demand really starts rising up, the FOMO really starts kicking in, and the supply is still diminishing, right? That's when you'll see Bitcoin start doing this, heading higher, right? Just like all the times before, until, who knows, it's going to hit a peak. In 2016, it went up 5,100%. In 2020, went up 600% this time around. Who knows? Right? Maybe it'll be another 600%. Maybe it'll be 1,000% this time. Right? We don't know. But what I do know is this. There are a lot of money, a lot of funds, mutual funds, retirement funds, equity funds. There's a lot of funds out there waiting, family offices that's waiting to put money into this space. And Bitcoin Spot ETF will allow them to do so. All the new exchanges will allow them to do so. All the fiat on-ramps will allow them to do so. There's just so much to look forward to. All right, so stay bullish, my friends. All right, that is pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. All right. Let's see here. I'm scrolling. No real questions, just statements. Did Celsius sell their alt bags yet? We don't know. It's been rumored that they are getting ready, or they may have already. I don't know, but they got the permission to do so after July 1st. So don't know if it happened yet. Rich, I appreciate that, and I appreciate your support. You've been supporting this channel and me for a long time. Appreciate that. When am I getting the Cybertruck? I don't know. I put my reservation in pretty late, maybe like a week or two after it was announced. So I don't know how early I am on the list, but I'm hoping maybe I could take delivery by the end of this year. That would be cool. My house will be done by the end of the year. Tomorrow they're going to start digging for the pool. So that's exciting. Do you think Phantom could come back after a multi-channel hack, and any price predictions? I mean, it hurt them a lot. It was $100-something million that was hacked. You know, other projects have been hacked before for just as much and more. I think they will recover. As long as Andre Cronje does not resign and leave once again, if he sticks with it, they certainly have a chance to come back. Grandma Bird retracted the message. Eric, just a few things about Stellar. Smart contracts are going live soon. And I suggest you look into the Starlight protocol. Allows 1.2 million transactions per second between two parties on basic internet. Okay, that sounds pretty good. The first part is also pretty big, right? Because a lot of chains do not have smart contracts. I didn't know that they're actually coming out with smart contracts. So that's going to make it more interesting for them. Lazaro, appreciate it. How do I feel about ZK Sync? Well, just like all the other L2s, using ZK technology, rollups, seems interesting, right? But it's a very crowded field. Even Coinbase is coming out with their own L2, so it's a very crowded field. So it's just a matter of who gets the most dApps, right? Did you see a video of Punchmade Dev showing Aiden Ross how he hacked his Coinbase account? No, I did not. Elon has been so busy with Tesla and Twitter. Yes, though I don't. Yeah, I mean, what else do you want him to be busy with? I don't know. I don't really care what he does with Twitter. I care what he does with Tesla. Thoughts on 4chan token? 4chan created a Pepe meme. First of all, the second part, I don't believe is true. And the first part, no. No. Do you think VeChain will ever get to all-time highs again? Yes. Yes. Any of the big projects that people still continue to, still have interest in, still hold their bags, right? And especially the ones that were absolutely massive before and they're still massive today, I think they're all going to get back to previous highs, all right? Some may get there quicker than others, but someone like VeChain will definitely will. They have still a very strong fan base. They're growing their DeFi, really trying to grow out the presence in the West, right? I think they'll do it. Rich, I think it's going to happen soon. Where is your XRP video? I've been showing that often. Way too often. And I still do slam them. You just don't watch me enough. U.S. debt to GDP has now reached 123%, worse since 1908. I don't think that's ever going to stop. You know, I don't think people realize. Hey, by the way, you know, I started watching this show on Netflix with my kids. But in case you guys want some good financial education, watch this show called How to Get Rich on Netflix. All right. I don't know the guy, but he seems to be very well versed. He wrote a book, and I think he also has a YouTube channel. But, you know, he teaches all these families that are really struggling with money, struggling with credit cards, struggling with debt, helping them to get out. It's actually pretty entertaining. But for those of you guys that want a little more financial education, I would recommend to watch that show. It's pretty good. Even my kids have some interest in it, and they're watching it with me, so that's pretty good. Rock Lobster, congratulations, another whole coiners. Congratulations. That's really good. Ernest, appreciate that. Hopefully I'll see you in Vegas. Portfolio update. I just did it yesterday, man. I only show it once a week, Wednesday nights. You have to tune in. Am I an XRP whale? Be honest. Depends. Depends on what your definition of a whale is. There are definitely a lot more people that hold a lot more XRP than I do, for sure. I have a good amount. I bought a little more recently because of the lawsuit. Because of the declaration that they're not a security. Okay, that's what I meant. So I have a good amount. But I'm certainly no whale. I'm sure there's a lot more people that hold a lot more than me. You know, I just actually showed the rich list. Where would I be on this rich list? Let me see how much I have here. So I take that number plus that number. Yeah, I would probably be. I'm somewhere between the 0.2 to 0.5%. So that's where I would be. Health insurance went up so much that I had to waive coverage. Now putting that premium payment into crypto DCA, go with the bad. Wait, no, Shane. That sounds like a horrible idea. You know, insurance is one of those things where you feel like it's a waste of money because you pay every month and you never get anything out of it because you don't use it. But man, it's like health insurance, you just never know. One serious injury, one serious surgery, whatever, will bankrupt you if you don't have insurance. So I don't know if that's a good idea, man. You should really, really think about getting some kind of coverage. Yeah, see, someone just said, just broke my arm, without insurance would have been $48,000. Those hospitals, when they do a surgery, they charge like $1,000 per hour, or maybe $10,000 an hour. If you don't have insurance, you will get killed. So get some health insurance, man. Why is Link pumping? Because they're CCIP. their bridging protocol, which I covered a couple days ago. It's pretty big. It's pretty big. Allows dApps to do cross-chain confirmations and messaging, and that's pretty good. Melvin, that's not true. Just because you take care of yourself does not mean you don't need insurance. What if you get in an accident and it's not your fault? What if someone crashes into you, right? And you have no control over that, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen. Do you hold a Pepe bag or plan to? I don't. I did have Pepe before. Made some money. Made some money with it. I bought it when it was like 200 million. Rode it up to $1 billion. Did not sell. And then I sold it when it went down to like 400, 500 million, something like that. So I made some money, but I could have made a lot more had I sold at $1 billion, but I did not. Will you be able to stream from Mining Disrupt next week? No, because I'm not going there. I don't see the point of me going to a mining conference when I don't mine, right? At Bitcoin 2023, it was just basically the conference hall or the vendor hall was just all miners, right? It's like, it's not for me. I don't mine. It's cool to see some of the stuff they have, like the cooling devices, like the containers and liquid like boxes and all this stuff. It's cool to see that, but it's not for me. For me, I rather just use that money to just go buy more Bitcoin rather than trying to mine it. I just really honestly feel like it's just better to just go buy it. They train agents to deny coverage in every type of insurance. That is true. Even car insurance. Every single insurance, right? Will you test the window of your Cybertruck with a brick? No, I will not be doing that. No. No, thank you. New Zealand has free healthcare. That's pretty good. Canada also does. But I hear if you just want to go in for like any kind of checkup or something, you have to wait like months, right? So there are downfalls to free health insurance. A lot of Asian countries also have free health insurance. Do you think Link will go back to all-time high? Yes, of course. They're so important in this space. People just don't realize it. They're really, really important in this space. Without Chainlink, almost every single DEX that we have would have been hacked already or have gone under. I mean, every single one utilizes the price feeds from Chainlink. That's how important they are. So I'm glad to see they get some love recently because CCIP up about 19% today. But yeah, they tend to be boring. A lot of times they just don't move at all, and then they do. Kind of like Cardano. They just like they're the boringest crypto to hold sometimes. 6 months, a year does not move, and then it just does. What percentage of your total investments are in crypto? Like 99%. I have a little bit of stocks, but very, very, very little. I have a little investment in like sports cards, very little. Investment in cars, very little. It's mostly all crypto. It's the fastest horse in a race. right? This morning I made a big deal about stocks. Like, hey, why would you hold any other stocks besides tech stocks, right? Like I was looking at some of the performance of, stocks in Dow Jones. Like today it was Johnson & Johnson and Travelers. It's like their performance are so slow compared to, say, Microsoft and Apple and Nvidia, right? Like, why would you be buying them? It makes no sense. Same thing. Like, if you compare crypto to anything else, crypto is so much faster. Why would you waste time with anything else, right? And only diversify once you... Okay, the biggest misconception to getting rich is diversify right away. No. You want to bet on the fastest horse, make your money, and then when you want to protect that money, then you diversify. You don't diversify right away. Diversification will kill you. It won't kill you, but it'll slow all your growth, right? So figure out how to become rich first, then diversify. So, and then the easiest way, in my opinion, is through crypto. Man, I got a lot of mosquito bites. AJ, I have another one recorded. I just didn't edit it yet. It's kind of boring. I don't want to put out a video just for the sake of putting out a video. I like to show something, but I did record one, so I'll probably put it up this weekend. All right, guys. So to conclude today, you know what, we got FedNow, right? What did they what did they do really? Not much at this point. It's just kind of the test, right? Does that mean a CBDC is coming? Yes, eventually, but not right now. Does it impede upon XLM and XRP right now? No. Right now, no, right? So we'll see what happens, but overall, both of these are doing spectacular, and Bitcoin is still doing very good, despite the fact that the government sold 250 million worth. But that's nothing for Bitcoin. It will pick itself back up and continue forward like it always does. All right, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one. Take care.